Pay 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
The voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
With a broken heart, you pick me up, now I'm set apart. From the ash I am born again, forever safe in the Savior's hands. Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, your love never ends.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Joco Community Radio Show, and I'm Shelly Hendrix, and I have a special guest in the house today, Mr. Marvin Cashaw. How are you, sir? Great. Good. I can't really hear you. Can you hear yourself?
No.
Okay. What about now?
No.
Okay. What about now?
Not yet.
No?
I can hear you, but can't hear me.
Okay, try it now.
Okay, I can hear me now.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome to the show, Marvin.
Thank you.
How are you doing today? So, if you're on Facebook and you want to like and share our page, please do so. We are live 24/7 on the Joco Community Radio Network, and we're on a lot of different platforms. So, like and share, please, and follow. Well, I'm so glad you decided to come and be a guest today. We
Absolutely.
met. How long ago did we meet? A couple months?
A couple months ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I met you at a Jim Austin Network event,
Yes.
which we all know Jim Austin.
Oh, yes.
You're family, though, right?
I am. I'm his nephew.
Okay. All right. Does anybody call you nephew in the family?
No, they just kind of say, "Oh, that's that Jim Austin's guy."
I get that
yeah,
too.
Yeah, that's his guy.
Well, I like to start off with prayer before we begin.
Sure.
So, King Jesus, thank you for this hour. Thank you for the platform. Father, I just ask that everybody's listening to this prayer. Father, just bless them, bless their families, bless Marvin. Just excel us to the next level, King Jesus, and let us do works for you within the kingdom. Let everything that we say and speak bring honor and glory to you. King Jesus, I just love you, and we praise you, and we give you all the honor and glory in your sweet, precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so Marvin,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from,
Mm-hmm.
how you grew up,
Okay.
and what you do now.
Awesome. Okay. Well, again, my name is Marvin Cashaw, and I'm from San Antonio originally. Been here for about probably 30 plus years now. Moved here for a job that I acquired. And of course, met my beautiful wife, Monica, and which is Jim Austin's niece. So that's how I married into the family. Currently working with Walmart in their fraud department, doing online credit card processing and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Working from home, and it all began, several years back before COVID, and of course, it needed to be done, and it's still going on and hasn't changed. So, continue on doing that. And during that time, I decided, hey, there's all these business opportunities out there because, COVID just kind of kept everybody inside. So I started an online jazz station. It's called Jazz Clef Radio. And just kind of took it off, grew from there, and just kind of making things happen with small businesses and giving them opportunities to be able to broadcast and advertise on my station. And, of course, great music.
Yeah. So when is your station aired?
It's aired 24/7.
Okay. And what platforms is that on?
There's a Get Me Radio app. Again, it's internet based, so it's you can just type it in jazzclefradio.com and go right straight to it. And it's on 24/7, 365.
Okay. And what was it like growing up in San Antonio? Were you close to the Riverwalk, and did you play sports?
Oh yeah.
What was your life like as a child?
Definitely not 10 minutes from the Riverwalk. I was able to walk to it. Grew up there most of my life. As a child, just being able to enjoy life and played sports, played basketball, played football, and just did the normal things as a child, just kind of, made things happen and just continue to grow and learn. And here I am.
Yeah.
The man that I became.
Well, when I first met you, I always tell people, I have this platform where I can bring people and I can showcase and help them to frame what it is they do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the first person I've come across that is in radio also.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that would be neat to bring somebody on and talk about a little bit about the history of radio and what it's like for us and what people should know before getting into radio. So Virtual Jock is one website that says what makes a successful radio show. I was reading up on that. And basically the first step is you have to establish a clear topic. And with yours, you have jazz, you have music integrated into it. So how much of having a clear topic is it? Because for me, I asked to be spirit led. So I just literally, I've been on the fence about, should I still do the show? Should I not? And talked to Tiffany with Joko and, the owner. And she's like, you've got to, this is your purpose. This is what God meant for you. And I'm like, so I went back and I prayed and I was like, God, if you really want me to do this, please bring people to me. And, I don't have a script. The only thing consistent is I always open up in prayer.
Right.
And I just ask God to bring people to me and I'm led, but having a clear topic is part of the thing. So each week or each day, how often are you on the air throughout the week? And do you have to pick a topic when you're on the air or do you just kind of just let the music lead?
Well, that's a great question. However, mine is all up in the cloud. So I have, a great station manager. His name is Daryl Day. And he's with One God's Way, and he has led me to a whole bunch of different avenues with the station on different ways we can go about it. But basically, we play music 24/7. Then there's commercials that are embedded in there, and we try to give a different flavor of music throughout the day. So there's jazz, a little bit of gospel. We take you back to old school. We do some new school. We do some Zydeco. We do some R&B. We do a little bit of everything. So we have a whole genre of different types of music.
Yeah.
And what we tried to incorporate is to keep listeners engaged with the different types of music because we have different demographics of people that listen.
Sure.
And Mr. Daryl Day also is the owner of a radio station called Big Game Christian Sports Network that he does, or they have a bunch of promote. What do they call? They're podcasters,
promoters.
Podcasts. There you go. Let me get it right. And they have shows that they go ahead and advertise and talk and promote, and they do a bunch of high school sports.
Okay.
And they promote that and they talk about it. And those guys are awesome. They do so many different things. It just blows my mind. So when you talk about topics, they have to have a bunch of different topics that they need to make sure they cover within the sports.
Sure.
So it's definitely you're right. You have to have a topic, something to go on, something to talk about. But in my game, it's just, music, keep it fresh, keep it simple, and just keep people listening.
Yeah.
And it's been working very well.
So I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here.
Oh boy, look out.
Okay. I'm struggling with this and I've been internalizing this since the Super Bowl performance.
Okay.
First of all, I like Rihanna. I like Beyonce. I like other artists, but I follow some people on Facebook that specifically, Ashley Garcia, she's a good friend. Great mother, great wife. Her daughter, shout out if you're listening, just got state champ or district champion for wrestling here in Burleson at Centennial High School.
Okay.
But she shares a lot of stuff about the agenda with artists. And I've always just kind of like pushed it aside. Like they talk about, she talks about how about the occult and some of the performances, like I said, this is off topic, but she talks about, symbolism. And if you look at some of the lyrics and music with Beyonce and especially, other people like Old Town Road Singer, you can see almost where there's an agenda where they marketed to children, but then they have all this other crazy stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been bothering me all week. And I'm like, the week I'm feeling convicted on it, the week that Beyonce like announces that she's coming in concert. And I've been to a Beyonce concert before.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some things that were posted that's very symbolic. And when it's in your face and you see them back to back to back,
Mm-hmm.
you realize, and you take a step back. And I was thinking there might be some truth to this.
Mm.
And I asked my friend, I was like, what do you think about this? Do you think they know, or do you think that there's people scripting this and they're not aware? But in your genre of music,
Mm-hmm.
I would think that there's not many artists that are mainstream. It's just very smooth
Mm-hmm.
and
it is.
Yeah.
It
and
is.
non-biased, non-agenda.
No.
But I had to share that because if anybody else is listening, they want to call in or make a comment, I'm feeling conflicted now about what I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed on days when I listen to certain things, because I listen to 94.9 a lot.
Okay.
Like, that's like 90% of what I listen
Right.
to. I've noticed those days that I listen to that. And of course, I start my day with a devotion, that things seem to go smoother. But I've noticed when I listen to some of the other mainstream artists
Mm-hmm.
that I'll just kind of be in this funk and I'll be in a mood. So have you noticed being in radio and having music that it changes the way you feel?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Changes the tone. It sets the tone, if you will.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of music, because music can really move the soul, if you will.
Yeah.
And I try to have easy listening music, like maybe the first part of the morning. In the afternoon, we kind of kick it up and get your little blood flowing and circulating. And then towards the evening, we got you driving home, and you kind of bouncing in your head and tapping your feet.
Yeah.
And then nighttime, hopefully we can kind of relax you. So
Yeah.
I definitely understand, and I agree with you. Some type of music does kind of tend to make you do certain things and say certain things.
It makes you
and
feel a certain type of way. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you have a radio voice. I hate my voice on radio, just for the record.
I've heard that.
But you do. It's like smooth jazz.
Right.
How do you say it?
Jazz Clef Radio.
That right there.
If you listen to my station, you can hear a lot of my commercials. And my station manager, Daryl Day, said, man, you got to get on the station because your voice is the prime example of what we want.
Yeah.
And I said, okay.
You have that voice that's commanding without being commanding.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Earl Jones and Samuel L. Jackson and some of the
Right.
other great,
Mm-hmm.
the Allstate commercial guy.
Right. I get that all the time. I get that all the time.
It's like, wait, I want to know what they got to say.
Uh-huh.
So congratulations to you on
Thank
that
you.
gift
Thank you.
you were blessed with.
Yeah. When I started my career with Walmart, I was on the phones at the call center, and people would call. They were so upset and mad and angry. And then once they heard my voice, they're like, oh,
It's
okay.
calming.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
Yeah. It's authoritative, but it's calming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sometimes I used to never listen to playbacks on the radio, but I've caught myself listening to some of the playbacks, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so corny. I do. Okay. So establishing a clear topic.
Yes.
Have a hook.
Definitely.
I don't have a hook. Do you have a hook?
Well, not really.
Yeah.
We just, again, we try to just make it simple, keep the music going, and make it something that where people will love to listen to and share it and tell somebody else to tune in.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
That's so me. I'm just let your will be done, God. Like, I don't have a lot of scripture memorized. My prayer life probably isn't as strong as some people that grew up in the church, but God knows my heart. He knows that I love him and I seek him every day, and that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
I was most happiest, and I am now, when I got to a place where I shut all the noise down, and I thought all that I realized and I accepted, the only person that matters what they think of you is God.
Amen.
You can never say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can never say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yep. I agree.
And you're always going to upset people.
Yep.
With your opinion.
That's true. I agree.
So maybe I should get a hook,
Yeah.
but I don't want to like commercialize it. Like, it's for the kingdom. Like, I always say this, I'm a drop dead sold out Jesus freak who loves Jesus, but I don't have any theological training.
Yeah.
I'm have so many faults every day. But I thought it was important when I picked the topic for the kingdom, because I want to do everything I do for God.
Amen. I agree.
So I want it all to be for the kingdom and bring him glory and honor.
That's right.
Even if I'm messing it up.
Hey, it's going to happen. I mean, we're human.
Yeah, I mess it up all the time. What made you pick Jazz Clef?
Well, again, I love music.
Yeah.
Grew up just listening to all kinds of music. And I thought, jazz is kind of an easy listening, smooth. There's all kinds of different types of jazz, but the genre itself is just easy listening, simple, basic. It doesn't have a lot of, especially I'm looking for stuff that doesn't have a lot of lyrics, but just the music.
Sure.
And music just calms the soul. And if you want to call it a hook, my hook is the station that starts the music, which is a clef, the clef note.
Yeah.
So that's our hook. It's called the station that starts the music. So I thought, okay, well, we can put that together. And Mr. Darrell Day and I, we kind of collaborated and said, okay, we'll call it Jazz Clef Radio.
Yeah.
And here we are.
It reminds me the name, and I can't remember. It's not Wyclef.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been Wyclef.
Mm-hmm.
But was there ever a Wyclef Radio?
Well, I don't know about Wyclef Radio, but I know about Wyclef John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it reminds me of, I guess that, but I was trying to think of something else that it reminded me of. Maybe it was something Steve Harvey did on radio, but I digress. Okay, so publish content regularly. I'm a little bad about this. I love social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I post, like when I talk to you or I sent you a message and I was like, I need your photo and your bio so I can, put it in pick a topic.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't post content regularly about the show. And I should. So do you have a platform where you post content regularly on any of the social media platforms or on the air?
And that's a must, because it's just like anything. If you want to be seen or heard or, get in people's heads, if you will, content is king and consistency is king.
It is.
So I post every day.
Yeah.
And if you're out there on, social media, let's say Facebook, Instagram, you can go onto the metaverse or meta business, if you will, and you can actually post future posts, and it'll actually, post it for you in the future.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot.
Yeah.
And I take a night or whatever, and just set them all up for the week, set them all up for the next 2 weeks. And that's the key, because you have to get out there and have people to see you to be consistent.
Yeah. I post the promo, but I never revert back, and I post show and live stream, but I never post content in regards. And we have other hosts here, but I'm thinking maybe if I start sharing their, and I know Tiffany's probably loving this. She's probably like, yes, do it. If I share their show, that maybe we'll get some more followers. But at the end of the day, I don't do it for followers.
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying if I said it's not gratifying to get those likes and to get that love. Yep. But I do it because I like people. I like talking. Mm-hmm. That's what I got in trouble for in school. I never got in trouble, but if I did, on my report card, it said talks too much.
Right.
Were you talkative in school?
No, mine was, Marvin, don't talk. We need to listen to these other people. They don't need to keep listening to you talk because they like your voice. I had this voice even when I was in middle school and high school.
I'll never forget it. I was in college at TCC and I got called out into the hall. I felt ridiculous because I was 25 back in school. So I'm older than everybody else in my class mostly. But I got called out by the algebra teacher and she was like, "You're being so disruptive. I cannot." And I was just talking. I was just happy that day. I was just like, "Oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this?" She's like, "You're being so disruptive. I can't teach." And I was mortified.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay. I didn't have the thought, maybe I should get in radio, but maybe I should have back then. I'm 42 now. Maybe I would be a lot more successful with it.
That's great.
So advertise on the show, your show on social media. That's a given.
That's
give people,
consistent.
Give people a way to download and listen later. Do you have the ability for people to download and listen to your show later?
No. Well, again, the show, the music is all, aired is just 24/7. So you can go in and listen to it at any time. However, we do have a request line. So if somebody wants to listen to a specific, song, they can go in and hit the request, information and type in the song and it'll come up at some point.
Yeah.
But other than going back and like podcasts or listening to stuff like that, no, not yet. We're still growing. We got a lot going on. And trust me, if you like our music and you like our platform that we have now, stay tuned. We got a lot coming down the pike and you're going to love us.
I'm excited for that.
Yes.
So for me, if I can't make a Wednesday, I call Tiffany and I'm like, "Can you do a replay?" And I know people, they're like maybe excited for a show coming up. They're like, "Wait, this is the topic." Yeah.
I heard that already.
So adjust as you go, listen to your listeners. Do you have a lot of people come in or call in that they make special requests and y'all kind of tweak the framing of what y'all are doing?
We do on our platform. People can, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that. So if someone does come in and have that information or wants to, put certain songs or what have you, if it's in our vast majority of our library, we do tweak it if necessary. And by the way, since I'm internet based, I have people all over the world. I'm talking Turkey, France, Great Britain, Africa. I had a minister who she was having a revival in Africa, and we set up a commercial for her. And we were so, just happy to have her call us and want us to do this for her. We even set up the time frame because, of course, there's a big time difference from here to there, to where we would air her commercial like late night over here, where it was morning time over there.
Yeah.
And she just loved it. So, yes, we make all kinds of, requests and adjustments as necessary.
That part right there, that's other than getting to yap with people, that part right there, having that platform, having that resource and that availability to let people minister or get the word out about their business. Yeah. That's the part that keeps me coming back.
Absolutely.
Because I like helping people.
Absolutely.
And you can make such a difference when you give someone a platform and you converse with, you network with other people that got something to say. Because there's people that don't have, that can't see it streamed, but can listen.
Right.
And a word can change someone's entire day.
Absolutely. That's so true.
I mean, I can remember almost getting stopped in my tracks when the Holy Spirit has sent someone, and I've just been having the worstest. I don't think that's a word, but if it isn't, I just made it one for this moment. The worstest day. And it's almost like a light switch. You get that word, you get that encouragement, and God sends someone across your way and they just speak something and your whole mood and the atmosphere almost shifts.
Yes.
So I think that's the greatest part of radio for sure.
Yes.
Content first, money second. This might be a little touchy.
Okay.
I've had people ask me, do I get paid to do this? No, I do not. If anything, there's a cost involved.
Right.
And maybe that's why, I've been shown so much grace though by Tiffany, and sponsors are the way to go and whatnot. But, and if you don't want to answer this, you don't have to, but does it cost a lot for y'all to continue your station, or is there cost involved in your position, or is it just a grace given position like I've been given here?
Sure. Well, being, again, I'm the owner of the company. There's a cost involved, obviously.
Sure.
Because, we have to air, we have to be on air, if you will. There's a cost to being on air. And then, of course, playing music, you're playing artist songs. So there's royalties involved. So there's, royalties that have to be paid, be it quarterly, be it, whatever time frame you pay them. So, yeah, there is a cost. And then, of course, just like, regular radio, when you have sponsors, how do radio stations get paid? They get paid by commercials.
Sure.
So that definitely helps, keep the lights on and keeps us, on air. So, we definitely, and that's how I kind of established this station, was to help small businesses to be able to advertise on air when they don't have this large marketing budget. And mine is so simple and easy. It's, cost effective. I mean, $5 a day. I mean, come on, if you can't, if you're in business, if you're not ready to pay or spend at least $5 a day for your business, then, you're just a lemonade stand. You're kind of just waiting for people to come buy from you instead of trying to market and advertise.
Right.
So if you're out there, small business owner, and you're listening, marketing is should be the biggest, one of the biggest things as far as a dollar is concerned to your budget is marketing and advertising. Have a cost set aside to do that, because you want to be out there. You want to be consistent. You want to be heard. You want to be seen, and you want to try to, of course, maximize and get the return on the investment wherever you can.
Right. So you're talking about that, and then I hear about royalties, and I'm like, oh goodness, that seems like a giant to have to pay for royalties. Is that hard to reach those people to get that right to play their music? Their representatives, I should say. I'm sure it's not them directly.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, there's a platform for that. You just, go to that platform and you sign up for it, and you pay that platform, and that platform pays the royalties to them. And then, of course, I have to come up with what's called a rotation as far as how many their songs have been played, and I send that in as a report, and of course, there's a formula that comes up with it, and that's how the artists get paid.
Sweet.
So it's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty seamless as far as the process, but yeah, there is a cost involved in doing that.
Nothing's free. Nothing at all.
Yeah, nothing is free. Trust me.
So we're about to go to commercial break in another minute and a half, or 2 minutes. But lastly, it says hosting your own radio show. Many things go into hosting a successful radio show. The core of it's caring about your audience and identifying what your show is or what it does. Make it so people can easily find you and create killer content that they'll want to share with their friends. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising all day.
And that's how we met.
That is how we met.
Yeah, at a networking event. Word of mouth.
Yeah. And same thing for me in roofing. Like I can knock 1,000 doors, but there's nothing like that referral that I get on that phone call. Like, hey, so you did so-and-so's roof. And they said, you did a really good job. Can you come look at my roof? And I'm just like, yes, more of this.
Yeah, it works every time.
It does. It does.
I agree with you.
I think when there's emotion tied to something, it's easier to sell something. And when there's relation tied to marketing or opening up to someone else's radio show or business, it's just a level of comfort as people. Because when you think about it, we're creatures of comfort. And I know for me, I don't want to do something if I don't know at least someone that did it or had a good experience with it, even if I don't know them. So I think there's a lot of truth in that. To hosting your own radio show is just, if you want to be successful and you're listening, because that's what we're talking about today, make sure you have, content that people can relate to. For sure.
Very true.
Yeah. Try not to watch the clock. Funny story before we go to commercial. Last week, that was all black. I was literally like, okay, so I kept looking at it and trying to watch it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't do this. I'm just going to get cut off any minute now and it's going to be fine. So there we go.
Oops.
Oops.
Oh, boy.
All right, we'll talk about it some more. A radio show and what it means. All right.
Gotcha.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give him a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Serving Johnson County, Texas. Joco Community Radio.
All right. We are back on Joco Community Radio. I am Shelly Hendrix. This is my dear friend, and he is here talking with us about what it's like to be on radio. He has Jazz Clef Radio, which is awesome. Mr. Marvin Cashaw.
Cashaw.
What descent is that? You know,
It's New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay. Oh,
Louisiana base. Yes.
Yeah.
Louisiana base.
I want to do a little housekeeping here. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch. And the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store, check out our lineup and more at JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 1-844-839-4245. Be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. All righty. We got that squared away.
All right.
So we were talking about hosting a show, what it takes. You're the owner of a show. So that's very different. But what has been some of your challenges, and how long have you had the show?
Going on 3 years now.
Okay. And what has been some of the challenges for you in radio?
Well, as we talked earlier about being consistent with content and posting and things of that nature, content is always a struggle because you don't want to, of course, repeat the same thing over and over, but you want to get stuff that's engaging, stuff that's relevant, and stuff that really tries to get people more involved with what you're trying to promote and talk about.
Sure.
Second thing, of course, is advertising, is the marketing, or the trying to get the consumers for the sponsors, because you got to go to different spots, different places, and of course, here you are talking about a radio station, and they're thinking about the next customer coming through the door. How do you get them to think about marketing and advertising? So you got to come up with various ways to get that information to that decision maker.
Sure. So
like you and I, we met at a networking event. That's one of the places I frequent, is a networking event. And then of course I post on social media where there's all the different owners and entrepreneurs and different groups, so you can get on that. Meetups, there's places like that. So you just got to be creative and come up with ways because there's all kinds of marketing, advertising ways to do things. You just got to come up with the way that's going to work and hopefully get some kind of return on investment for you.
Sure. So the history of communication before we had the revolution of technology.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute. UK essays out of the United Kingdom talks about the history of communication before and after the discovery of radio waves. So did you know before the discovery, telegraphy had been developed as a means of communication?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, telegraph meant long distance writing in Greek.
Yep.
Earlier means of communication included smoke signals.
I was going to say that. Smoke signals.
Torch signaling, heliographs, which is like flash mirrors, and signal flags were used to convey messages over a distance. In the 18th century, various methods of communication came into use. They were mainly used by the military arena during the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars. This period marked the development of the first optical telegraph system by the mid 1800s, and this system covered about 5,000 kilometers and involved more than 550 stations.
Oh, wow.
We're way beyond that today.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
It's all on the cell phone now.
It's all, isn't it amazing? Like, it's a gift and a curse.
It is. It really is.
I've had to do social media cleansings. I've admitted this several times on the show. I'm addicted to Facebook. I'll just put it out there. I'm working on it. I really have to, when I'm laser focused on something, which it's kind of hard for me because everything I do, I need a platform to discuss it. So I catch myself going to make a post for business, make a post for somebody else's business, share content to get more business, or on a personal level, share stuff with my family because I love that Facebook stores it all and it reminds me of these memories. And mixed content's good. People just don't want to hear about your business all day. They want to see you. If they follow you, they like you, they want to know who you are before they stay engaged. I found so.
And you need to have a separate page, one for business, one for personal.
See, I don't have that.
Entrepreneurs, you might want to think about that,
So what can I ask your reasoning for that? Because I might need to think about that.
Okay. So say, for example, Marvin is out, having fun at the lake, and I'm talking about my jazz station, but here I am, with a beer in my hand, and I'm, partying it up, and what kind of signal am I sending out to my business consumers who I'm trying to attract to want to advertise on my station?
That's true. I keep my timeline very PG.
Okay.
So I don't know if I need that, but I can see why you would do that, because a lot of people overshare, lead with their emotions, post negative stuff. You'll never find anything negative. You'll never find me disparaging anybody or calling them out. Very rarely will I share a negative experience, even if it means writing a bad review. I just try to keep everything positive because I want to attract that. But I do worry about my audience.
Right. How they see you.
Well, not only that, but seeing my kids.
Oh,
I feel a certain type of way about that.
That too.
Because I feel like my Facebook, for the stuff I share for my own reasons, to have it come memories and pop on my timeline and a place to store it all, is I feel like I want that circle like 20 people.
Right.
Because I really don't want people to see my kids. I know people feel certain types of way about that.
Agree.
Because I got people all over the world liking, and I'm like, that's my, I feel that way. I'm like, why is he liking my daughter's picture?
Right. I agree.
So, but I need that reach. So I'm glad we're having this conversation, because you know what? I think I'm gonna do a second Facebook page.
Anytime I speak to any business owners about my marketing, advertising, and the way to do it, I always specify: have a personal, have a business, and of course, promote your business on your business.
Yeah.
No one wants to see like you said, your kids and you hanging out and partying and all that. That's not the type of environment you want to promote. Yeah. In my opinion.
I agree, and I'm motivated to create my own private page and just go and just print all my and start storing stuff over there. And there's a setting on Facebook where you can go back and you can limit what new friends see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna do that too.
That's correct.
So see, I learned something today, and now I've got some more work to do. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? That's some old school stuff. Smoke signals. I would not. I'm just saying, I would not be in radio if I had to do some. That's a lot of work.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're right.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so want to learn more about radio? You've come to the right place. Says Funk IDs Live. Number one, fun fact: the first true radio transmission of voice was made by Guillermo Marconi in 1895. Guillermo was an Italian inventor who made a big breakthrough in communication in 1885. He figured out how to send sound over long distances using radio waves. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Number two, fun fact: the first commercial radio advertisement was broadcasted in 1922. Were you weren't alive then, were you?
Wasn't alive then.
I wasn't either. Listen, I met somebody. I'm joking, but I met somebody that was in. I'm blanking on what war he was in, but he was born in 1909.
Oh boy,
this is 15 years ago.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But he was so with it, and like he would come up to. I used to be in medicine. He would come up to the surgical office, and we would see him in the office, and he would bring his book. He was on the USS. That's it. Normandy Beach. Yeah. And he was in that war, and I have a picture with him, and he was the sweetest little man. But I don't know, is it rude to say, is anybody alive and that was born in 1922? It's not rude. I just read the other day that the oldest person was 122.
Yes, I seen that too.
You saw that? And she was.
Yeah.
God knows my heart, but I'm ready to check out at about 90-95.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep going
10 toes
as long
up.
as I can. Just keep it going.
What's my quality of life is that people got to take care of me. I'm just like, God, please let me come home.
I hear you.
Oh, okay. Fun fact number 3: radio waves travel at the speed of light. I didn't know that. I think I learned that in school. Fun fact 4: radio was the first mass medium. I don't know if I knew that.
Okay.
5: radio broadcasts have been used to inform people of disasters, war news, and other important events.
I knew that.
I feel like if we were to have some sort of rapture, others might call it apocalypse, but for me, it's a rapture, that whoever's left behind or wherever they go, whatever happens, that we're not going to have anything but maybe the radio.
There you go.
You see that in these apocalyptic movies where it's like they're tuning in, they like took trash and made a radio to try to reach other people.
Yep.
So
yes, you're right.
6, over 2,000 different languages are broadcast on the radio.
That's true.
Radio broadcasting is the oldest form of electronic communication.
Mm-hmm.
And the first FM radio station began broadcasting in 1940.
Really?
That's interesting.
I would have assumed earlier than that.
I would have too. Oh, the equipment. Oh, the equipment was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the first computers?
Oh, yeah. I had one.
It was like
Yeah.
this big.
Yeah. And
like,
that was just a monitor.
The brains on the floor.
Right,
and it was
right,
even bigger.
Right.
And you remember that noise, that
Mhm.
like the dial-up noise?
Right.
Like
Yep.
someone picks up the phone, you lose connection.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, all right, let me go do two loads of laundry and come back, and then maybe I can get back on.
Right. Hang up the phone.
Yeah, right. So DAB stands for Digital Audio Broadcasting Radio. It was the first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And radio broadcast is regulated by Ofcom and also the United Kingdom. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm learning something. I did not know any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Telegraphy was developed as a means of communication.
Right.
My mom used to tell me that, because I asked her before women were in the workforce.
Right.
I said, Mom, like what did women do when they were allowed to? And she talked about people coming by their house and dropping off clothes for them to be pressed.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about really the big boom for women was a telegraph operator.
Okay.
And which is amazing to me. I like they did, I think, Morse code.
Yes.
A lot of situations,
Yeah.
you know, they had talking signals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we've come a long way as women for sure.
Well, I still remember calling the operator, hitting 0, and the operator come on the line. It was a lady, and I asked to have a long distance call connected.
Okay. Do you know what a party line is?
Yeah, I remember. I used to be on those too.
You're dating yourself a little bit right here. Okay.
Yeah, I do remember.
But my mom said you could find out all the tea in the neighborhood.
Right.
Just by picking up the phone.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and if someone's on it, you're like,
Mhm.
that's how gossip started.
Right. Yep. Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's how gossip started, but I could see how it would intrude in that space.
Yep. Had it happen a couple of times.
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would like to hear more about that.
Oh yeah.
You want to share that?
We'll talk about that later. My mom she said, "Nah, you need to get off of there. That's enough. Hang up."
Oh, that's some
So,
major tea.
Yeah. We don't want to go there.
So you and your wife have children?
We do. We have a son and a daughter, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Daughter's 27 and son just turned 19 or 18, excuse me. So he just graduated from high school and first year in college. So
Okay.
Yep, doing very well.
What college is he going to?
TCC.
Okay.
TCC.
And does he know what he wants to major in?
He's kind of dabbing in a few things right now. He's really focused. He wants to play sports. He wants to go to a different college, a Division I school, but he's trying to get his feet wet, I should say, into the college area. But he's still learning. He's still growing.
Sure. And your daughter's 13?
No, 27.
27.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does she do?
She works at Amazon. She's in the warehouse, just doing her thing, just trying to be an entrepreneur herself. And she went to she became a makeup artist. She went to school for that, and she's trying to get more involved in that now, and trying to get out of the Amazon life.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like so many people right now are trying to break free from corporate America.
You're right.
Especially since COVID.
You're right.
You know, unemployment's been down a lot since COVID, but I think for the most part, it's not that people don't want to work.
Yeah.
They just don't want to work for somebody else.
That's correct. I agree.
Did you notice the boom on social media with all these people selling all these products and doing these businesses? It was crazy. I was like, man, everybody's got a business now.
Yeah. Even people making masks and putting, their business name on the mask.
Yeah.
They were making that. That was a part of a business. So yeah, it was a lot.
Have you seen the makeup tutorials where there's people literally just putting makeup on and they're like talking about a crime novel or a crime TV series? I'm like, what?
Yeah.
They have like 2 million followers and
Yeah.
they get paid for that.
And my daughter makes the same. She makes those commercials, not talking about the crime, but she makes the makeup commercials, and she's trying to get followers as well. So I know where you're going with it.
That's our generation that's coming after us. They're hip to that. And they're smart for being hip to that because everything eventually will be, I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime, but the workspace environment, I mean, when did you start working from home?
About 3 years ago.
Okay. So it's
right
like,
as COVID, right
yeah.
when COVID hit.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't return back to work.
I haven't since.
Yeah. They're like, why do I need to go in the office when I can do what I can do right here?
And that's me. I don't think I could even get out of my house now.
Yeah.
Kitchen, bedroom, office, kitchen, bedroom. That's all I do.
Yeah. And you know what I noticed too? A lot of people order groceries now that didn't used to order groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom was like, I ain't going to the grocery store.
Yeah. You can avoid it.
Yeah. Did you sanitize your groceries when you came home from the grocery store during COVID?
Not really, but I kind of made sure I didn't, touch a few things, but I did sanitize.
I was a little high strung during that first, probably about a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
I would come in, strip down.
Yeah, I did.
Wash my hands, sanitize the groceries, and my kids were just looking at me like, "Really, Mom?" That's when I decided to. When I first met you, I think I was living in my RV. I told you that here I've got a house now, but that prompted me to get the RV.
I agree.
Because I was like, you know what? I need to be able to get out of town. I need to be able to just pack up and go live off the land if I need to.
My gosh.
But we're all a little off topic now, but we've got extra time. We got about 9 minutes and I'm having fun with this because What is your favorite you listen to all kinds of music, right?
I do.
But is jazz your favorite?
Well, I'm more of a old school R&B and of course jazz. I mean, jazz has been my go-to when I want to relax and unwind and kind of, take it easy. But I really want to, kick up the heels and kind of, do a little grooving. Old school R&B and even a little bit of Zydeco. That's
I don't know what that is. Please, you said it earlier and I was like,
Yeah, Zydeco is a genre of music from the New Orleans area, if you will. It's a very distinct, different type of music, but I guarantee you, once you listen, you're gonna stomp your feet and rock your hips and shake your head because it is a grooving kind of music. And I play it every Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. And I tell you, once you listen, you're gonna be hooked.
7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. for an hour. And it originated out of New Orleans. Now, do you say New Orleans or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Can you pronounce it 2 words? I have family in West Monroe.
Yeah.
And it's Nolans or New Orleans.
That's a lot of people who live there say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, radio.com says why people love listening to the radio. People love listening to the radio for a number of reasons, whether it's discovering new music or catching up with the latest news. They like to discover its popularity. People love listening, according to a recent study by Edison Research. This is from last year. The ability to connect with listeners in new music like Zydeco, both local and global news, and the added benefit of going mobile are the main driving factors why audience keep coming back for more. Right. There was a time where we had to literally turn a dial on and listen, but because of this phone that's in my hand, the possibilities are limitless.
There's all kinds of things now.
Yeah.
That can be done.
And it seems like everybody's got a podcast. I've noticed that too.
That's true.
After COVID, I was like, everybody's got something to say, and there's all these podcasts now, and it's kind of like I don't want to say it just kind of took over.
Yeah,
for sure.
And of course, the phone was everybody's got the phone, and they didn't need to get out. They just did everything right. Looking at the phone, they were looking at their audio books and just reading and looking at their news and everything. So when I started my the marketing company, I came up with a smart card, a virtual smart card, where you would just tap the phone and all of your information would come up on the phone. So that's kind of pre-COVID, if you will. People didn't want to touch, each other and give out cards because they thought they were contaminated. So you tap the phone and your information, just like a business card, would pop up on the phone, and here it is. So I kind of ran with that. Yeah, that was my niche.
That's still the one you use?
Still the one I use.
I've noticed that a lot of these networking events, people still have that. The one I did was the hi hello.
Now that's what you're speaking of is a QR code that people would just scan. Yeah. Mine is a card, actual physical card. You would tap the phone.
Oh, I've seen somebody with one of those.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a credit card. It's real thick.
Yes. And tap the phone and all your information pops right up.
What's it called?
I call it a virtual smart card is what I market my card as.
So you created one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
And then I have a virtual smart bracelet that does the same thing.
Okay. Why have we not talked about this yet? What else you got?
Those are the two things. That's how it all started.
Okay.
So I devised the card to
Let
where
me see this thing.
If you're at a networking event, it just looks so professional, where if you're talking to someone and you have all these business cards and, you know, you're trying to figure out who is Shelly, what was her business. Whereas if you have one of my smart cards, what'll happen is you actually tap the phone.
Okay.
And your information will pop up on the phone. And the key is now you're saved into the contacts of the phone.
Is it showing where you met them at?
No, just that's my information, my social media, my website, phone numbers, everything. Click the little man and it saves right into the contacts of the phone.
Okay.
So the key is you want to be in the phone. So now when you want to come back and say, oh yeah, Shelly, oh, she's in my phone. I can go back and look at the phone.
You know, I love that. But the caveat with that is then I'll go and look at it and I won't remember the name because I remember faces, but I don't remember the name. So I would probably save that. Can you edit it and put like
absolutely
met at?
Yep, it's all editable.
Arlington Chamber.
Absolutely. Okay. And then the bracelet does the same thing. I'm known as the radio guy that has the radio on the bracelet now. So you do the same thing. You tap the phone and now my radio station pops up on the phone.
Look at that.
And you click that little link and it goes right to the radio station.
Oh my goodness. Where can people purchase these?
So you can go to socialsmartcard.now.site.
Okay.
That's where my social smart card is located. Or you can just hit me up on my email at info@jazzclefradio.com and we can get you all the information. All I need is just your profile, name and contact information and social media, and I can get it all set up. You'll have it within 24 to 48 hours.
Sweet. And how much does something like that cost?
For the bracelet, it's $39, one-time fee.
Nice.
For the card, it's $49, one-time fee.
Okay. And how does that bracelet, does it work off Wi-Fi or just a chip with saved memory?
Nope, no data, no Wi-Fi, nothing connected, nothing needed. It works off of the technology of the phone. So Apple has what's called NFC technology, just like Apple Pay and Google Pay. Works the same way. Works off the same technology as that. You
don't have to plug it in or charge that bracelet or anything?
Not at all.
Okay. And tell people that are listening again where they can purchase those again.
You can go to socialsmartcard.now.site. Again, that's socialsmartcard.now.site.
Okay.
And it'll have all the information on there that I just mentioned. And if you need to contact me for information before purchasing, info@jazzclefradio.com is how you can reach me, and I can definitely answer any questions you may have.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I feel like I should have known that before. See, I learned several things tonight.
Absolutely.
So the love of music and discovery is why people listen. I could talk about some numbers here, but I think it's always changing for sure.
Oh yeah.
What have you noticed that's changed the most since COVID in radio, since you've been kind of through the threshold of that?
Well, again, there's been more listeners now because of course people are at home now. But again, now that they're transitioning, going back to the office, you got to keep them engaged.
Sure.
So you got to come up with something, like you said, the hook to keep them, wanting to keep coming back for more.
Right.
So the talk shows, podcasts, all of those things are very helpful. And of course, the postings of the social media is very, very key. It's got to be consistent.
Yeah. And what do you love most about radio?
Well, like you like to talk to people. You like to, meet people and just kind of give them just a platform to talk.
Yeah.
And to be able to share their business opportunity. Again, I came up with my idea to help the small business owner to promote and to advertise their business. And I just make it so affordable. And that's really what I like. I just like talking to people. And of course, people like hearing me talk because they like hearing my voice.
Yeah.
So I just try
You do have that smooth voice.
So I just try to keep it easy.
This is true.
Right.
You hear it now, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear it.
Thank
the proof
you.
is in the voice.
Thank you.
So what if someone wants to advertise with you, can we discuss those fees briefly before we leave for the evening?
I'll make it very simple.
Okay.
I am the guy, the advertising platform with Jazz Clef Radio that says you can advertise your business for $5 a day.
Okay. That's at $5 a
That's
day.
a $5 a day advertising fee.
And what do you know what your reach is, or are you on so many platforms?
Absolutely. You know, I'm with Big Game Sports Radio Network.
Mm-hmm.
They're partnered with me. I have a reach of over 10,000 plus listeners every month. Jazz Cliff Radio, we got about 1,800 listeners a month. So, you know, between the two, between 12 to 13,000 listeners per month on all three stations.
Sure.
So you definitely will have an opportunity to have your business heard by several thousand people on any given day.
And is it like a few seconds, or is there?
Is it 30-second commercials or 60-second commercials?
Nice.
And again, my platform is 24/7, so you can be heard 7 days a week if necessary, depending on, you know, which way you want to go. But my $5 a day is a minimum of 30-day minimum.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have other packages we can look at if you're looking for longer term and sponsorships and, you know, different scheduled programs and so on. So
okay,
we can definitely work with you.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Me too.
You guys have heard it today with my friend Marvin,
Yes.
and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marvin.
Appreciate it.
Y'all have a great night.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio. At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logo designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion, or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares